Today, the war room goes where almost no camera and very few Indians have ever gone under the ocean, into the world of submarines, a battlefield where there are no second chances, no sunlight, no noise, and no room for mistakes. My guest today is Captain Vipul Meherishi, one of the most experienced submariners of the Indian Navy, a man who has spent thousands of hours underwater, commanded frontline submarines, trained the next generation of underwater warriors, and even performed a live escape from 35 meters below the sea, something most people can't even imagine surviving. Submarines, ladies and gentlemen, are the Indian Navy's silent arm, feared, secretive, and decisive in war. Today, we pull back the curtain on the mysteries, the operations, the dangers, and the human toughness it takes to live in a steel tube where silence is the only protection. This is not a sailor story. This is the story of the men who fight where no one can see them. Welcome to the War Room. Welcome, friends. Today, we dive deep into the unseen battlefield, the underwater war zone. Joining us in the war room is Captain Vipul Meherishi, a decorated submariner who's commanded frontline subs of the Indian Navy, trained the future submarine commanders of in India, and personally conducted a live escape from 35 meters under the sea. He's been director of submarine operations at Naval Headquarters, headed underwater warfare training, led major naval contracts, and even brought Asia's first ever submarine museum to life. Welcome to the War Room, Captain Vipul.
Thank you, sir.
Vipul will hit the ground running.
Okay.
In the first segment, I would like to, bring out certain myths and realities about us, the submarine, the submariners, the submariner warfare. People think that submarines are just steel tubes, playing hide and seek underwater. What do they not understand about your world?
Well, sir, that's something civilians don't understand. But a submarine is a very complex platform. It requires a lot of machinery, a lot of sensors, a lot of gadgets to stay underwater. Modern submarines can stay for very long periods underwater, sir. They can stay up to 45, 50 days at a time. The diesel electric submarines. The nuclear ones can go up to 3 months. They actually do not have any limit on endurance. Is a limit of the physical endurance of the crew. That is why they are limited to 90 days only. Otherwise, they can go on and on forever.
Excellent. I also
Yes,
understand that navies fear submarines more than the aircraft carrier. Why is that so?
so it's basically the unpredictability of a submarine. You do not know where a submarine will strike, when it will strike. It's absolutely the stealth of a submarine. The whole submarine game is about stealth.
Okay.
So we take cover underwater and we just disappear from the world. Nobody can see us, nobody can hear us. We are silent operators. And if we take a case of aircraft carrier, now aircraft carrier is certainly a huge platform. It's a power projection for the country, but it requires so many more units to protect it from people like us, the submariners,
Right.
because they do not know when and where we'll strike.
Right.
Nobody knows where we are.
Right. How does a submarine change the entire political balance in a conflict without even firing a shot, Vipul?
Again, so it's the stealth. Now, if I say it's a power projection in a different sense, in the sense that if somebody comes to know that there is a submarine lurking outside my harbor, he doesn't know where the submarine is, what the submarine will do,
Okay.
and a lot of countries project power by saying that we have deployed submarines. We have to. It's sort of a tool for coercive diplomacies, I would say.
Right. The submarines, Vipul, I think if I'm right, are termed as the silent warriors underwater. What power does this silence have in war?
I think silence has a lot of power in the war, sir, because first of all, if we talk about the submarines, you create a asymmetric balance. If I tell you today, sir, you are operating a huge navy. If I tell you that I've got deployed submarines, I may or may not have a submarine there, but
Okay.
just by sheer projection that I have a submarine
All
deployed somewhere,
right.
you will have to deploy asymmetric number of units to protect your main body, main interest.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
I my silence, I'm not projecting, I'm not surfacing to show the submarine, sir.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not showing any part of the submarine. I'm not transmitting anything. I'm not. But it's just the mere information that a submarine may be there outside the harbor will
Okay.
tilt the balance absolutely in terms of number of units to be deployed.
Right. Right. Vipul, I think the main asset that the submarines enjoy is the disappearing act, right? I mean,
Yes, sir.
you're silent, you're invisible. So, how does a submarine actually hide such a massive, ship underwater? What makes it invisible?
Okay, sir. So again, silence is the name of the game, sir. So what we do is there are a couple of measures that we take, sir. First thing is let's talk about the ocean, sir.
Okay.
Now, ocean has mixed layers and sound layers. Basically, what happens is that the temperature starts dropping as you go down, sir.
Right.
And at certain level, it suddenly drops. So
Okay.
there is a thermocline. We call it a thermocline, sir. So the thermocline forms at certain depth, and this thermocline refracts the sound energy, sir. Underwater, as you understand, sir, that there is no radar, there is no sighting. It's all about sound.
Right.
We our main lifeline is sound,
Right.
propagation of sound. So when the sound strikes the layer, it refracts or bends. So submarine goes and hides under the layers.
Okay.
For this, we do something called a bathy dip, morning and evening, to measure the temperature from top to bottom, sir. And then we decide what is the layer available, how we'll go and hide behind the layer, and when will we come up on the layer to detect the surface ships.
All right. All right. Okay. That's the
And
invisible
then
part
the
now.
then there are technical measures, sir.
Okay.
We have all our major machinery is mounted on rafts. Basically, they're rubber mounted rafts
Okay.
so that no vibration travels to the hull, sir.
Right.
If
Right.
there is no vibration traveling to the hull, no sound will go out.
All
So
right.
we try to minimize the sound levels at source itself, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Another thing is that we have specially designed propellers so that we don't make something called cavitation noise, sir. When the propellers move at slow speed,
Right.
there is no cavitation observed in the propeller. We skew the propellers, the propeller blades are more in number. There are various scientific methods to do that.
All right. Okay.
And
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Please tell me.
and we have something called silent operations
Okay.
to further reduce the sound. So the whole idea being so that at any given time, if we want to be silent and disappear in an ocean, our sound level should be less than the basic background noise of the sea.
Okay.
The
Okay.
background noise of the sea, schools of fishes and all that is around 80 to 100 dB, sir.
Oh.
So we try and achieve that
Okay.
by reducing our speed. Now, if you have a higher speed, whatever you say, sir, you will have eddies. You got hydroplanes which are operating. You will create eddies. Eddies will make more sound.
Right.
So we drop speed, we drop the propeller RPM, and we switch off all unnecessary machinery which can transmit noise.
Okay.
And that's how we go and disappear underwater.
All right. All right. No, connected with this, I wanted to ask you the second thing. One is being
Yes.
invisible, and as you rightly said, the second thing is being silent. Because underwater, it's only the sound which can actually, give you out, give you away. How quiet is the silent running? If I'm, let's say, if I'm a civilian on board, what would I notice? Would I notice any sound anywhere, or it is absolutely quiet?
So some sounds you will notice the essential pumps because the shaft is running. Some essential one or two pumps will be running. So that is a very minimal sound. In fact, we go to the extent of ensuring that the crew whispers. There is no talk, unnecessary talk. Sir.
Okay.
Movement is stopped. We
Right.
don't move inside the submarine. And because if you move, sir, you will naturally close hatches and open hatches to go from one compartment to another compartment,
Yes. Yes.
which can again make sounds.
Okay.
And in certain cases, we ensure that the crew wears very soft soled shoes.
Okay.
So there's no thumping sounds when you're walking around.
All right. Okay. Okay.
All machinery is switched off, sir. Only some basic pumps are running, sir.
All right. All right. All right.
So you
So,
will suddenly find the submarine has gone quiet. If you are inside a submarine, from a normal routine, you will suddenly find everybody is whispering, everybody has gone quiet.
okay. Okay. So,
Yes.
it must demand a lot of discipline on part of the crew to be actually, observing all these drills and all that. Now, what is the scariest sound a submarine can ever hear? Can you describe a moment when, one wrong sound could have given you, given away the entire crew? Something that happened in your career span.
Sir, I would say that the most scariest sound of for a submariner is a unexpected sonar ping from a close range, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Because sir, on a submarine, sir, you are always aware of your domains, sir. Who's coming, who's going from miles away. So you basically know what is happening in and around your maritime domain, sir. But if suddenly, sir, there is a sonar ping, that means you have missed out on something. Either it's a submarine which has found you
Right.
and you have to take evasive actions,
Understood.
or it is something which you have missed in life.
Okay.
The
Okay.
other scariest sounds are, sir, sounds of water increasing, sir, some failure of a machinery or some compensator burst. Or certainly the biggest scare is, some grinding, metal grinding sounds, sir, which means that you have collided with something, sir.
Collaborative or something. Okay. Understood. Understood.
These are the scariest sounds. Otherwise, sir.
Can
And
the
there are
ocean
times,
turn from protector to enemy in seconds, people?
certainly, sir, certainly, because as long as the water remains outside the submarine hull, it's your friend, sir. The moment it tries to get inside, it becomes your enemy straight away, sir.
All right.
And
Now
the
let's
whole exercise, the whole drills are designed in a manner to ensure that the water doesn't come in.
okay. Okay.
So,
Okay. Okay. Now let's discuss something, about life below the sea level. As I
so
can understand, it is a life in total isolation, weeks without sunlight, no escape, if things go wrong, and the, overwhelming feeling that you're surrounded by limitless mass of water from all sides. How do you prepare a human mind to live in a steel coffin, if I can term it like that? How do you do that?
So actually, submarine duty or submariners are basically made by voluntary service. We choose to be what we are, sir.
Right, right,
Secondly, after that volunteer joins the submarine, then he's very thoroughly screened psychologically, sir, by medical experts. Then he undergoes trainings, and we send him for 6 months on board submarines just for training parts. He is still not given a dolphin badge,
okay,
wherein he is analyzed by his peers, his seniors, his officers, everybody. And after tough selections, a lot of people are eliminated,
okay,
and only people who are not claustrophobic. In fact, our training is also so structured, sir, that in our submarine school, which is INS Satmana, we undergo something called escape training, and wherein you have to wear that heavy suit
right,
and get inside a torpedo tube where you can't even move, and they fill the torpedo tube with water
right.
and pressurize it. So all these things, all the structured trainings weeds out people who are claustrophobic, who are mentally not do not have makeup for this kind of a job, sir.
Right, right. Vipul,
And plus, we have a very strong division system, sir,
okay,
in wherein we interact with sailors. The basic difference if you if you come to a submarine, sir, you'll find that everybody wears the same uniform, whether it's a junior most sailor or the commanding officer. We don't wear any stripes on board, sir,
right, okay, okay.
just to indicate that we are all the same.
We're all the same. Okay,
Yes.
and you also to indicate that you're the best. Whatever little I know of submarines, I know that submariners are the most rugged, the toughest, and the most robust of all the sailors in the Indian Navy. Is that right?
Yes, sir, because we undergo so much of stress, and we don't see sunlight for days. There is a stale air that you breathe throughout when you are underwater, sir.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
totally cut off, no communication with family, no communication with anybody in the world, sir.
All
When
right.
a submarine slips underwater, sir, we in peacetime we have only one transmission in 24 hours. That's we tell the shore that we are okay. We say check. That's it.
Okay.
Otherwise, when you're going for a mission, even that is not there, sir. We do not transmit anything out of the submarines.
Okay. Okay. So
So
what
you're
does this
totally isolated.
isolation do to a normal man underwater, Vipul?
Sir, isolation results in a lot of. First of all, it's boredom, sir. You're seeing the same people day
Right.
in and day out, sir.
Okay.
Absolute boredom is there. Then a submarine's mission is like a shark in the water, sir. You keep waiting, keep waiting, keep waiting. You may be unlucky that for 45 days you don't find any action, sir,
All right.
and come back. You may be lucky, you may find something. So it's a waiting game, sir. It's a game of patience. And for 24/7, you have to be on your toes, alert, sir. It
Okay.
can't be that you had a nap and somebody has passed through, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Once a submarine is deployed, the shore authorities are assured that nobody will pass the area without being detected or
Okay.
picked up.
Okay.
So you are constantly on your toes, constantly alert. There's sleep deprivation, sir, because your circadian rhythm gets affected.
Mm.
In fact, when we go on a mission, we try and change our routines. We ensure that our days become night and night becomes the days.
Okay. Okay.
So
Right.
it affects the psychology of a person a
I
lot.
can understand. I can fully understand that. Vipul, is claustrophobia, a major threat? Is it even allowed as a fear inside a submarine?
So as I brought out earlier, sir, our training is so structured that we weed out such people who have claustrophobia and who can be potential threats. But that doesn't eliminate the fear, the possibility that somebody might feel claustrophobic at some times.
Okay. Okay.
There are incidences when such things happen, and we have to deal with it, sir.
All right. All right. How does the crew deal with the personal conflicts? When you stay together, the same routine, same faces. So some amount of friction and personal conflict is bound to creep in. What happens when this creeps in, when this comes up, and there is literally
Sir,
no one to know where to walk away? So what exactly does the crew do? Have you ever seen a submariner lose composure underwater?
so there are incidences. I fully agree when there are so many people around in such tight spaces. There's no personal space on a submarine, sir. You are hot bunking. Your bunk is also not yours. The moment
Okay.
you go on duty, somebody else will come and sleep
All right.
there. So there's nothing called my personal thing or my personal things. You only get a small box where you can keep your toothbrush and toothpaste. That's it.
Right. Right.
So there is nothing personal. There are tight spaces. So it's bound to happen that there will be personal conflicts on some issues or the other. But as I brought out earlier, sir, we have a very strong divisional system
Okay.
and very, very strong camaraderie because in a submarine, sir, everybody relies on the other guy also.
Okay.
It is not that you can alone survive in the submarine. Either everybody goes down or everybody comes back.
Right. Right.
There
Right.
is no individual escape there.
Right. Right.
So you trust each other so much. It's like a well knit unit. Sir. I would call it like a well knit regiment of an army. Sir, where
Right.
each one is ready to die for the other guys.
Or the other one. Yeah.
And so when we have this strong divisional system, sir, if there is a conflict, immediately somebody will be told. Some senior sailor will be told. The senior sailor will try to resolve it. If he can't do that, then he'll go to the coxswain. Coxswain is the senior most sailor of the submarine. Sir.
Right. Right.
If he can't resolve it, then it'll come to his divisional officer. Through divisional officer, to second in command, the XO. From XO, it will come to CO. Sir. There's
Okay.
a full system there, sir. Plus, we also have any good commanding officer will have ears to the ground, sir. In the sense, you have your informers of what is happening below the decks, who's having problems, who's not having problems, and we immediately resolve it. We don't leave it pending, sir, because if you let it fester, then it may just escalate, sir. So
Absolutely.
you try and resolve it immediately, sir.
Absolutely.
And one more advantage that we have, sir, is, I would say that it is our strong family system in our countries.
Right. Right.
So most of the sailors, when they're together, वो भाईचारा some kind of भाईचारा develops.
Develops. Okay. Okay.
Uh, and everybody knows that you are in the same boat for the same period of time. And most of the stresses, actually, if you see, sir, happen because of family pressures.
All right. Right.
So what we do is that when the submarine sails out, we have these submarine bases, sir.
Okay.
So we have a unit, small team form, which looks after all the family problems of the submariners who are going to sea, sir.
All right. All right.
So you are rest assured that if your wife doesn't have a gas cylinder or if there is any problem, from the submariner will go and look her up and sort out her problem.
Okay. Okay.
We give them contact number also before we go, sir.
All right.
Everything is taken care of. So you are nischint ki nothing's going to happen. Family is safe.
Correct.
Everything's fine.
Yeah. 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 Oh, these are very essential, but peculiar, drills, which are very, very important. I mean, a
Yes,
man
sir.
has to have his peace of mind, before he can really immerse himself into a situation and a moment like this. We really understand that. Now, we would like to explore the 35-meter down below escape that you did.
Yes, sir.
Most people panic in a pool, Vipul. But you stepped out of a submarine 35 meters below water level.
Yes, sir.
Can you paint the moment for us? Why were you ordered to escape live at 35 meters?
Sir, what had happened was I was second in command, and in 2000, August 2000, I think 12th August to be very clear about it, was that Kursk incident had happened, sir. Russian submarine had sunk at 100-meter depth.
Right.
Now, 100-meter depth is very much an escapable depth. You can escape from 100 meters.
Right.
Rather, you can escape up to 120 meters without anything, without any help.
Okay.
But what happened was that their hatch got damaged, and in the last compartment, couple of sailors and officers died
Okay.
trying to open the hatch. So this sent a very, whatever we say, sir, we are submarine fraternity, we understand what they must have gone through, sir. So, there was a sort of a requirement to prove that our systems are working
Right.
because we had never tested them at sea
Okay.
by escaping at sea, sir.
Okay.
Though we have been doing mating and all that and rescue bell we have been putting, all those things we have done, sir. So we decided that, we initiated it and we asked our shore authorities to permit it.
Right.
And I would say hats off to my commanding officer at that time. So he agreed to do it and open a hatch underwater for us to do this.
Okay.
So that's how we started it, sir. And first we did it from 9 meters just to prove the system first, sir.
Okay.
Whether the entire hatch and flooding and pressurizing, everything is working fine. And then we dived to 35 meters. Now this 35 meters, actually we calculated. Basically, sir, when you dive underwater, sir, depending on the time that you are under pressure, you have to include stoppages in your ascent. If you do not do that, because the moment you dive deeper, the nitrogen that you breathe in the air, sir, it dissolves in your fatty tissues and bloodstream, sir.
Okay.
And if you suddenly come up from depth, then it causes bubbles in the body, sir. Something called bends.
Okay.
We get bends. It's called decompression sickness, sir. So all divers, when they dive deep, when they're coming up, they have to make certain stoppages at certain depths for certain times.
Right. Right.
Now, in this case, sir, we were just doing a free ascent in the sense that you just come out and pop out. So in that case, we had to calculate how much time will it take to pressurize and what is the suitable depth where you do not require any stoppages to come up.
Okay. Okay.
So that's how we decided 35 meters.
All right.
After calculation that we will not need to make any stoppages during ascents.
Right. 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 What does the brain tell you? When the hatch first opens, Vipul?
There is no escape now. You have to go up. The only way is up. So it was a very good experience. Actually, when we stepped into the conning tower, the tower was flooded 2 feet less than the hatch on top, sir.
Okay.
Because finally you have to pressurize it to equalize the pressure
Right.
with the sea water outside, sir.
Okay.
So once the pressure was equalized, I was given a tap from down below that pressure is equal. Now you can open the hatch.
Okay.
So it just opened and the entire sea came in. And it was a great feeling, sir. And once I left the submarine, in fact, I came out of the hatch and did a funny thing, sir. I went to the bridge of the submarine and sat there for a minute.
Oh. Okay.
Submarine had an aspect of 2 degrees up angle, sir. And very faint sunlight was coming in, sir. You could just see one small ray of sunlight coming. It was around 10:30 in the morning, sir.
Okay. Okay.
And everything was tranquil, everything was silent outside. It was a lovely. What I missed most was that I didn't have a camera to record the things.
Had you taken a GoPro, it would have been a phenomenal shoot.
GoPro, I don't think would have worked at 35 meters,
Okay.
but still.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Vipul, what does fear feel like physically underwater when you're there? Does an element of fear also creep in?
Sir, element of fear in the sense that yes, if something fails, if some system fails, if hull integrity is broken, so then there is the chances of survival become very distinct. And that's why, sir, we constantly carry out every day, sir. Every day we carry out drills and emergencies. The first aspect is to keep the crew busy, sir. The more free they are, the more they'll think about things, the more they get stressed. So we keep them busy by doing drills, emergencies, exercises. And the other thing is that we train to such levels that is our default. If if I'm in middle of sleep and you give me an order, my hand will go to that particular valve and take that many turns.
Yeah.
I don't have to think twice.
Right.
So this is how we prepare ourselves, sir.
Okay.
It's absolutely default standards.
Okay.
When there is a panic button.
I was actually referring to your 35-meter escape.
Sir.
Personally.
No, 35-meter escape, sir. I kept asking myself, the next breath I take, it is okay, everything fine? Yeah, so everything is fine. Nothing is going on. As long as I keep breathing, nothing is going to go wrong, sir.
Excellent. Was there any moment, I'm just asking you, I'm sure there wasn't any, was there a moment when you thought that this was a mistake and you shouldn't have done this at all?
Sir, there are always self-doubts when you undertake such a thing, sir. Especially moment you step into the conning tower and they shut the hatch from down below, then you're on your own, sir. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. There is nothing more. Now you have to survive on your own. So there are you only worried about that the breathing apparatus should not malfunction. And because that is the most important thing, sir. If you can take a breath, you will deal with. That's not a problem.
Absolutely. So what is it like? Your first breath at surface. Of course, as you mentioned, the sun. The beam stroking you down, your face down. Was it relief or shock or a sense of great achievement?
Sir, it was a sense of great achievement, no doubt. But, I was wearing that hydro suit. It's a huge, I will send you a photograph later on, sir.
Right.
And it has got those big
I've seen those. I think I've seen those Cuba Gooding Jr. ki movie wala. He's a diver in there and he's just clumping. He's not able to walk also. It is that heavy. I understand.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So now, moment I surfaced, till then, everything was visual in the water. Everything could be seen and all that. Moment I surfaced, the glasses fogged out, sir.
Yeah.
Because of the body heat inside, sir.
Correct.
And I couldn't see damn things right on the sea. And now I was worried, where am I and who is going to come and help me out from this place? So it was more of this thing, sir, once I surfaced. But then I could hear, because my ears were still in the water, I could hear some motor coming, so I could make out that the small boat is approaching me.
Right. Excellent.
And the suit is so designed, sir, that you have to, after you surface, you have to open certain bottles. So the section of the suit fills up with air to keep you afloat, sir.
Afloat, all right.
Yes, sir. So in that case, after the sections are filled up, you cannot move your hand and legs also, because everything is filled up with air, sir.
Yeah. So, okay.
So you are just lying there.
We would love to show the audience certain photographs. There are photographs of this event.
I will try and send it to you, sir.
That'll be great. People, let's talk about your command of a submarine now, command in the dark, as I would call it, where every decision, underwater, I understand is irreversible. Once you take them, I mean, you cannot go back on that. How is command inside a submarine different from that of other warships?
There is a lot of difference between commanding a surface ship and commanding a submarine. First of all, sir, since the submarine dwells upon stealth, you have to give a full autonomy to the commanding of submarines. Like a surface ship, sir, when it goes out, it's generally in a company of a fleet, or even if it's not in a company, it is constantly in communication with shore authorities, and constant guidance is available, instructions are available, communication is there, sir. Whereas submarine, once I dive, sir, I have no communication with anybody, sir.
Okay, okay.
And as a commanding officer, I know that the entire nation, the entire submarine, and all the lives on board are my responsibility now, sir.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I have full autonomy of which depth will I maintain, what speed will I do, what actions will I take to if there is an emergency. Everything is on me, sir. There is no time to ask somebody. There is no way that I can ask fleet commander, sir, abhi main kya karu? There's nothing.
All right.
So you're constantly calculating, constantly working. What is going to happen next? How am I going to do this? What depth should I go to? What is the sea water temperature? Everything is constantly working in your mind, sir.
Right.
And other thing is that on a submarine, sir, decisions have to be taken quickly because you are against the nature, sir.
Right.
I cannot delay a decision.
Right.
The time is very critical, sir. It's a hostile environment. And that's where the training comes into effect. You trust your officers and sailors to the core, sir.
Absolutely.
It's your well-knit teams that you trust, absolutely, sir.
Absolutely.
If you give an order, you trust that the junior-most sailor to do his job correctly, sir. And that's what he has been trained for, sir.
Okay.
And there are no questions. There are no questions asked. Whereas on a surface ship, things are different, sir. Absolutely.
Yeah, of course. There is scope for taking back or amending your orders and doing things differently. I understand.
Different, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Vipul, what's a command decision underwater that still sits heavy with you?
Sir, I fortunately do not have any such thing, any
Excellent.
such decision that I would have taken has gone wrong with me.
Right.
So
Excellent.
I'm fortunate in that case.
No, I think.
Yes, sir.
Do submariners carry invisible trauma with them? The trauma of being there in a ship for so long, or spending so much time of their lives underwater, away from everyone.
Sir, there is certainly a possibility of trauma. We have heard a few cases like that. Because, sir, finally, it is the stress which gets you, sir. You are constantly, first of all, you are deprived of sleep, sir. Absolutely. When you come back from sea, sir, you are in debt of sleep. Absolutely.
Right.
Stress, constant vigilance, constant, there is no privacy, sir. For whatever days you are at sea, absolutely no privacy. Either you are rubbing shoulders with someone or...
Yes.
There is, since we have to keep them busy, sir, the constant working conditions are hard. Your breathing stale air, sir. Absolutely. There are times when CO2 levels go up, sir. You have to start CO2 scrubbing, sir, to produce oxygen.
Okay.
So these kind of things are there, sir. So they do play on your mind. Plus, though we have a robust system of ensuring that family tensions do not travel to the submarines, sir. But it's a human mind, sir. You are always thinking somebody has just had a child or somebody just got married. He will think about, what is happening to my wife?
Yeah.
How's my child?
Absolutely.
All those things are there, sir. So that stress gets on to you, sir.
Yeah, I can understand.
But we have a system, sir. We keep them entertained whenever possible. We do play a movie or something, sir, on a submarine, sir. Just keep them entertained, keep the focus.
Okay.
shift it.
Okay. Okay.
And we do have very healthy competitions like a cooking competition or something, sir. Halaki, our galley, the cooking space is very limited, sir. But we do some things like, officers versus sailors or something like that. We'll have some
Okay.
competition,
All right.
very healthy competition.
All right.
It's like a very well-knit family, sir, actually.
Yeah. 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 Okay. All right. Vipul, let's talk about the future of the undersea warfare. The war is heading underwater faster than people realize. Why is the Indian Ocean becoming a submarine chessboard?
Sir, Indian Ocean happens to be, the main sea route for the world trade and oil, sir. If you see, 75% of the world's trade travels through Indian Ocean, sir. And almost daily, 50% of daily oil consumption of the world goes through the Indian Oceans. So they say that, whosoever controls the Indian Ocean controls the world's trade.
Right.
Plus, now China and Japan and all these countries have started taking interest in the Indian Ocean.
Right.
Everybody is trying to exploit the resources in the Indian Ocean. There's a lot of Chinese fishing vessels coming around. So there is, and even to counter them, there are other Western navies are sending their units
Right.
into the Indian Oceans. The Malacca Straits and Straits of Hormuz are the choke points.
Okay.
If somebody can control Malacca Straits, he controls the entire trade. So these are the reasons why the world navies are interested in the Indian Ocean now. Sir.
Okay.
And if you have an overt presence in terms of surface ships, you get detected by aircraft, satellite, and everything. Sir. So the other point is the covert presence. Covert presence only comes by submarines.
Right.
So that is the reason the submarine it's becoming a submarine chessboard.
Right. Right. Vipul, we've seen recently, in warfare all around the world, especially in the Middle East, of course, on top of us, Ukraine and Russia. And of course, what happened between India and Pakistan in those 88 hours of, a quick skirmish during the Op Sindoor. The drones and artificial intelligence is making a huge, huge impact on all kinds of warfare. Can you discuss what kind of impact would they have on the submarines or the warfare under sea, for that matter?
So drones and in fact drones and AI both there's a double-edged sword for the submarine answer.
Okay.
Basically, AI is helping us to enhance the efficiency of our sensors.
Right.
They can go sift through the data and huge amount of data and know in quick times and help us identify sonar signatures.
Right.
A sonar signature is like a fingerprint of a ship or a
Absolutely.
submarine.
Absolutely.
So they can with pinpoint accuracy, they can tell us what kind of a sound this is. Plus the involvement of UUVs. Now, unmanned underwater vehicles are in vogue, sir.
Okay.
So what a UUV does is that I do not have to take this heavy and big platform and expensive platform of the country closer to the enemy shore, sir. I can probe shallow waters by sending a UUV, sir, and I can get info there. So it is actually a good thing for me that it is enhancing my operations and by standoff operations, rather, I would say.
Okay. Okay.
Plus, it increases my sonar range. I can launch a UUV to probe in a particular direction and come back, and it can give me a feedback of what is happening there.
Right. Right. Right.
On the other side, so the flip side of this is that even ships are launching drones.
Yes.
They can send a drone up in the sky to look for a submarine in case a submarine is doing battery charging or is slightly shallow. Now, submarines, sir, if you're in the sky, you can see a submarine through transparency of water up to 35 to 40 meters.
Okay.
You can make out the silhouettes of a submarine.
Right.
So you have to ensure that you are below that depth. We call it transparency of the waters.
Okay. Okay.
So that way, it's a double-edged sword. Secondly, sir, There are a huge amount of now optic fiber cables are being used as hydrophones for laying hydrophones and things like that. In the future, this will make sea water less opaque for the submarines to operate in. So it's a challenge which will come through. Sir.
Right, right.
Plus, AI is also helping the counterpart of the submarines to detect the submarine. So it's a double-edged sword. That's why I said that's how it is affecting us. But it's a game, sir. It's a game of hide and seek.
Right.
So it
Right.
will go on. Sir.
Something better will come for to evade
Yes,
such measures. I'm very sure.
Affirmative. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
right. Now, Vipul, looking into the future now, crystal ball gazing. If India wants to dominate below sea level, which it definitely would like to, what's the one investment that we must make right now?
This is submarines. Actually, we started with submarines in 1967 sir, with the Foxtrot class submarines. Sir. It was a World War II design that we acquired, sir. And it gave us a huge amount of experience in operating submarines, staying underwater, long durations. Then we came on to EKMs, the Russian Kilo class submarines, which was NATO name is Black Holes, absolutely silent submarines.
Okay. Okay.
And we ventured into German SSK submarines also, Shishuma class.
Right.
Now we have Scorpion class submarines in our Navy. So the Russian Kilo class is slowly being phased out. So.
Okay.
In the meantime, we also trained and experienced on Russian nuclear submarines, how to operate a nuclear reactor.
Right.
To the extent that now we have ventured into building nuclear submarines in our own countries.
Right.
In fact, INS Arihant is an India-made nuclear submarines, followed by INS Aridaman and Arigat.
Right.
So soon we are going to have, I think, Aridaman being commissioned shortly into the Navy, which will make us a 3 SSBN submarines, 3 SSBN navies.
Right.
And there are future submarines also coming in. India is also looking to build conventional submarines.
Okay.
So what we need now is we need to, which DRDO is doing, we need to develop AIP, air independent propulsion, so that our diesel submarines can stay underwater for longer durations without having the need to come and charge batteries.
Okay.
Plus, we need to delve into UUVs and all the latest AI technologies that are available, which I'm sure people in the background are working on it. And as new submarines are coming in, these technologies are being incorporated into submarines.
Right. Right. Right.
We need to make our submarine force a stronger force, and I think government is also looking into building new nuclear submarines, which will give impetus to our underwater force.
Excellent.
And every submarine which now comes in will come with modern technologies and modern the things that we saw will completely change in the future.
Right. Right, right, right. I do understand, and it will also make the life of the submariners underwater. Of course, they're going to stay there longer now, but it is going to make their life comparatively easier, isn't it?
So it's a relative thing, sir. It may become easier, but it will become more complex also, sir.
Okay, okay.
Because at the same time, the enemy is also getting equipped, the surface ships.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Yes,
understood. But I
it's
think
a spy versus spy game, sir.
Absolutely, absolutely, Vipul.
Yes, sir.
I can, actually bring the conclusion to this discussion by saying that submarines are, of course, India's real geographical insurance of the future, and we must, relentlessly pursue this mission that we have. Vipul, we now come to a very interesting phase of our conversation, which is actually a rapid fire round of 10 questions, which I'm going to shoot at you, or you may, call them torpedoes, which are coming your way. Those
Okay,
giving
sir.
you those, nightmarely or nightmarish sounds, which you
Yes, sir.
are revulsed to. So 10 quick questions, and I would expect 10 quick answers with the
Yes, sir.
same alacrity that you take decisions underwater, without wasting a second. Okay, are we ready
Yes,
for
sir.
that?
Affirmative.
Right. The first one coming your way, your strangest superstition underwater.
There is no such superstition underwater, sir. But we have a tradition. The tradition is that if there's a new crew which comes on board, sir, we dive to the deepest depth and make him drink a glass of salt water from that depth, sir.
Okay.
That is to say that now the sea flows in your veins and
All right.
you are part of.
What do submariners miss instantly when they surface after 30, 40, 45, 90 days?
This stability, sir, underwater.
Okay.
Underwater, you are absolutely stable. Submarines don't have a keel, sir. So the moment you surface, you start rocking and rolling and pitching, sir. You really don't take that, sir.
All right. Can you tell us what is the deepest that you ever been in your submarine?
Sir, I would here refer to the open source depth available, sir. It says 240 meters. I won't go into specifics of where we go, sir.
Yes, of course.
But the Jane's fighting ships tells us that the diesel submarines go from 240 to 300 meters, sir.
Wow, that's quite a bit. That's quite a bit.
Yes.
All right. Vipul, one movie that does total justice to the life and challenges of a submariner.
Sir, I would vote for 1981 movie called Das Boots.
Okay.
It's a World War II submarine, sir, which is on hunt, and it really projects the stresses involved, the boredom, and without any drama, sir. That movie is really good.
Excellent, excellent. We'll recommend that to our viewers. Next,
Good, yes.
What is the worst smell inside a submarine?
The worst smell inside a submarine is venting of a sanitary bottle, sir.
Okay.
So when we use toilets, it all goes into a big, huge bottle, sir. Once it is completely filled, we pressurize with high pressure air and blow it out, sir, in smithereens.
Okay.
But the air cannot go out. So because the air goes out, it will send a bubble on top, sir, and you will get detected. So the air has to be vented back inside. That's what actually.
So that is the worst smell.
Yes. Of course, there are others, sir. When you're battery charging and all, there are a lot of gases which come out, sir, like hydrogen, stibine, arsine, and then when you convert CO2 to oxygen, there is a gas called amines. So this all combined, it gives a very pungent smell, sir.
All right.
And of course, fuel oil and lubricants and diesel, these kind of smells, they get into your uniforms. And when you go home, sir, you're generally told to stay out only and change there and take bath and then come inside. you stink from meters, sir.
All right. Though I've already asked you this earlier and you told us, at the cost of repetition, what is the deadliest sound inside a submarine?
Deadliest sound is an unexpected sonar transmission or a torpedo HE, sir. These are the deadliest sound that everybody is scared of, sir.
All right. How do dolphins treat submarines in water? Are they a friend or a snitch?
So they are very curious creatures. They come in, especially when you're shallow, doing at periscope depth or something, they'll come and cross your bows. And certainly not a snitch, sir. They will not snitch on you, sir.
Okay.
Unless it's there are stories that there are facts actually that dolphins are trained, military dolphins.
Okay.
Who go and get information and all that.
Right.
Otherwise, wild dolphins are no snitches. They are friends.
Okay. What keeps you awake? Since you mentioned there are a lot of sleepless nights there. What keeps you awake after a mission, Vipul?
Sir, when you come back, your body is not able to adjust immediately to the routine, sir. You have, as I mentioned earlier, we convert our days into nights and nights into days. Your circadian rhythm goes for a 6. You are sleep deprived, and you are doing continuous watches at sea, sir. Every 6 hours, every 3 hours, you are on watch. And moment you come back, step ashore, you suddenly wake up middle of the night because it's time for watch again. So these kind of things take time to get in routine again, sir. It takes a lot of time, sir, and causes a lot of physical and mental trauma, sir.
Discomfort, right. Since Vipul, the entire your decision making ability is based on instruments and gadgets. What is one gadget that you trust with your life?
Sir, there is not one single gadget. I trust all my gadgets because any gadget gives me wrong information, I'll make a wrong decisions.
All right.
So, but yes, I would say sonar because that is the only ear that I have, and on board my high pressure air, sir. Because high pressure air is like a bloodline for a submarine, sir.
All
If
right.
any emergency, I can blow my tank and come up immediately,
All
sir.
right. All right. All
So
right.
HP air is my blood, sir.
All right.
And of course, the hull itself, which keeps the water out, sir.
Out. Of course. Of course. One last question coming your way, Vipul. Why should a young
Yeah.
officer choose submarines?
So submarine are very elite people, I would say, so because you require a lot of mental toughness. Of course, it's physically demanding. You are constantly breathing stale air, and you have to survive without sleep for so many days together. But it's an elite thing. It's very adventurous to go underwater and be invisible to the entire world. I think they should join for the adventure part of it. Of course, there is a financial advantage. You get some kind of a submarine allowance, but
Right.
that is not a big draw
Like draw.
for
Right.
people to come and join nowadays.
Excellent.
What is there is the adventure and the experience and the elite fraternity of submarines.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes,
I agree with you. My course of course, we are almost course only. The ones who have gone into the submarines, yeah, they have such a cool air about them, and they were
yes,
really
sir.
looked upon, looked up to by everybody, the rest of us, even wherever we met them at staff college, at various other places. I mean, hats off to
Yes, sir.
submariners. That's all I would say. Captain Vipul, in the end, thank you for taking us beneath the surface, literally and metaphorically. Your insights into submarine operations, leadership, and life underwater have been very eye opening. Now, if there is one strong message that you would like to leave the audience with today, what would that be, Vipul?
Sir, I would like to say that most people do not know what submarines do and how the submarine operations are conducted. We are just in 38 minutes or so try to introduce people to this. Submariners are elite people, sir, mentally tough people, and it requires a lot of patience and alacrity to be a submariner, sir.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I would recommend people to dwell more into submarine operations. People have access to nets and read about submarines and understand what kind of a life we lead. Submarines are the sword arm of any navy, sir. Before even the balloon goes up for war, submarines are deployed. Submarines are out at the enemy front line. We are the first ones,
Right.
months before the war is declared, sir,
Right.
that we are in the battlefield already within the territorial waters of the enemy and doing things that we are designed to do, sir.
Outstanding. We can only thank you for your service, Captain Vipul, and we appreciate your service, your clarity, your willingness to share a world that usually stays hidden from all of us. Thank you so very much for being on the War Room today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
There are three key takeaways from our interaction with Captain Vipul Meherishi today. Number one, submarines ship wars without being seen. The true power of a submarine isn't in firing torpedoes, it's in deterrence. A single submarine can alter an enemy's strategy, force caution, and shift the balance of power simply by existing silently in the deep. Number two, the human mind is the real weapon underwater. Technology matters, but it's the submariner's discipline, psychological resilience, and ability to stay calm under crushing pressure, physical and mental, that keeps a submarine alive. Underwater, fear spreads faster than sound, and controlling it is part of the job. And number three, undersea warfare is India's next strategic frontier. With rising geopolitical tension in the Indian Ocean, submarines will decide who dominates below sea. Future wars may be fought in silence by unmanned systems and advanced submarines, and India's decisions today will determine its strength tomorrow. Every time we talk about national security, we think of what we can see: ships, aircrafts, uniforms, ceremonies. But the real power of a nation often lies in what you cannot see: submarines and the men inside them. operate in a world where a single sound, a single mistake can decide the fate of an entire nation. After listening to Captain Meherishi today, it's clear that underwater warfare isn't about machines alone. It's about discipline, clarity, and a level of mental toughness that most people will never experience in their lifetime. To the silent arm of the Indian Navy and to the submariners who carry that invisible weight, respect. Captain Meherishi, thank you for taking us beneath the surface. This is Tipsy, and you've been watching The War Room. Until next time, stay curious, stay aware, and remember the real battles always fought in sunlight. And as always, stay thoda sa tipsy. Jai Hind.